I just thought that was important to bring up too, as we get excited for Billy Eichner's Bros.
I know.
Real quickly, we're going to talk about Adam Levine. Kellie's got some thoughts, but I wanted to just do a little breakdown because we're talking about talk shows in general. I wanted to break down the new talk shows that are out this year and kind of say what I thought of them, or Kellie, if you've seen them. Jennifer Hudson has a new talk show. We've got Sherri Shepherd kind of stepping into the Wendy Williams time slot, but like being her own show, and just get an opinion of what you thought of them, or have you got to see some of these new talk shows?
I have heard about them. I have not personally got to see them. And I also heard that Kelly Clarkson has taken over Ellen's time slot. So
that might be true, and she was doing really good.
Yeah.
Her last season, Kellie, it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely interested to see Jennifer Hudson's show. I just want to see how she interacts because I like her as a person. So anything I've seen her in. So I definitely want to check hers out.
Oh, you like her person, but you think she's got a personality?
Like,
oh wow.
I
just the mature over here. This is who she is.
Just in my, from my, in when I've seen her like out and like, whatever. I'm interested to see where she takes it and kind of her approach.
Okay, so the first thing I will say is I've been actually calling into a New York City radio station. The great Miss Jones is back on the radio. Jonesy in the morning, 94.7 The Block. And I've been kind of, doing a little bit of a report on how Sherri Shepherd and Jennifer Hudson are doing. Go to my Instagram, RandomlyRJ, or Only Jonesy Official, if you want to hear some of these clips. There's some really funny clips, and we're just having fun, Kellie. We're just really taking some light jabs at just the fact that maybe Sherri Shepherd doesn't have it, maybe Jennifer Hudson doesn't have it. And I think the one thing that makes me say, is what do we need to keep giving celebrities talk shows? Like, it's like that whole thing. It's like, oh, well, let's do Cocktails with Chloe, and it's going to generate all this fan base because she's a huge social media star, but no one wants to watch her sit and talk. You see what I'm saying? If they like her or not, they don't want to see her talk. And it makes me think of the old days when we had Donahue, Sally Jesse Raphael, and I'm like, those were people that came from a space of, broadcast, and like they developed a show that was around topics or whatever, and still personality driven and celebrity driven and all that.
But it was mainly real people. A lot of the guests they had were, just regular people for different things.
But they were still better talk show hosts, is what I'm saying. My problem, so on each of them. So for Sherri Shepherd, the problem, and you may not think this is a problem, she has the feel good show, feel good, have a great time show, the let's have a good time, real good time show. It's just too much like faux, like today's gonna be great, like is what Sherri Shepherd's giving. And now Jennifer Hudson, I think she does not have the art of the interview. She kind of asks a question and then they answer, and then the first thing she does is say the exact thing they just said. So like she'll be like, oh, when did you first fall in love with Cookie, to Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson will say, oh, it was at Michigan State, in 19 whatever. And the only thing Jennifer Hudson will contribute is Michigan State, 1977. Can you believe that? That's all she ever says. Like, she doesn't really like pick up. And the thing is, like, Magic Johnson was on the show and said, wow, Jennifer Hudson, you really have it. And I'm like, Magic, you couldn't even host a talk show. We've not forgot. We have not forgot.
But also from behind the scenes stuff, you got to remember too, like it could be people telling her, not really letting her kind of like come out of her own yet. So maybe let's give it a minute and see if she's able to kind of like grow.
I'm just saying, we have talk shows that came out like Anderson Cooper, cut right away. Katie Couric, cut right away. Meredith Vieira, cut right away. Queen Latifah, I think, got 2 seasons. Tony Danza.
Her show.
I did too.
I was so disappointed that got cut.
The only reason I wasn't really disappointed is because she went on to do a show called Star on Fox. That was so good. It was like
even that other show she's doing on CBS. Love it.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that makes me like, oh, damn, I wish the Queen Latifah show was still on. But then at the same time, like, her acting is also very good.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, like for the new fall lineup, I get so into talk shows. You've heard me talk about it's like my dream job, And when I look at like the great Rosie O'Donnell, like that show was a good show years ago. But I don't know.
Ricky Lake, I loved Ricky Lake.
Well, Ricky Lake went on the Sherri show and said, Sherri, you're doing such a good job. And in my mind, Ricky, why are you lying to this woman? Sherry's a flat earther. She believes the earth is flat. So she can't be having that good of a time. Let's have a real good time, feel good time. Not when you think the earth is flat. No. But anyways, I have been sharing a lot of these comments on Jonesy in the Morning, 94.7 The Block. It's been such a fun experience. So I just call into the show, and Jonesy and I bounce off each other in terms of like, what do we think of Jennifer Hudson, Effie, the Effie show, from Dreamgirls, and does she have it or not? Sometimes constructive criticism feels
well,
good.
I'm definitely gonna have to watch an actual episode so then I can come with like a legit opinion because I have not seen one. So I
well, you better hurry because they may both be canceled.
I know. I'm gonna have to watch one immediately.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge Sherri Shepherd fan. Like even when she was on other shows, just not really my favorite. When she was on ensemble stuff, she wasn't really like. Not really like. I guess I really don't have an opinion either way, but I'm not like, oh, I want to see her do something.
Yeah. And we're not knocking it. It's just we're doing talk show breakdown. We're talking about Drew Barrymore. I always really love the art of a talk show. We make the joke of how on Hulu's Difficult People, Julie had said, Johnny Carson would be rolling in his grave if he saw that Jimmy Fallon did Pin the Tail on the Donkey on the Tonight Show, yesterday. It's just saying like the art of a talk show to me, I really love it. And what they're doing, the newer talk shows to me, I don't know what they're doing, these silly games and this have a real good time, feel good time. It's just like, I want connection. You know what I mean? It doesn't, you don't want when they interview talent for it to be the press release show where it's just like, okay, what does the guest have to promote? And then there's just a host just kind of like extracting that. You want a conversation. And so I feel like we're not really getting that.
Well, see, that's what we got from Drew and Justin. We got like legit conversation in that whole clip.
Kellie loves her some. I mean, you love some Drew Barrymore.
No, I genuinely do, but I can't sit and watch her like a whole thing of her show because it is like way too much sunshine for me, and I think I'm a little bit too much of a cynical person to take it all in one sitting. So I have to break that.
I need my talk show.
I do love her.
I need my talk show to have peaks and valleys. That's all I'm saying. I feel like.
But I like Kelly Clarkson's show. I think she did well.
I had said that, and for whoever thought, oh wow, Kelly Clarkson, so let's just do another American Idol, and this one's an EGOT, which is really, I mean, so proud of Jennifer Hudson for being an EGOT.
Absolutely.
However, good thing she already has an Emmy because she will never win an Emmy for this talk show. So good thing she's covered.
Let's see.
And we are just me, Ronnie, I am only being critical because I love the art of talk show. It's always been a dream of mine to have one of my own. And I don't want to say I welcome negative critique on what I do, but I think over the years, I've been around a lot of people in my radio career or even when we podcast who will audit or air check our work. And that's what's always made you better. So mind you, I'm not just throwing in jabs. I'm not talking about anyone's looks, any of that. I'm talking about the things that I think are missing. Sherri, you had Nicole Scherzinger on there. It was the press release interview. Maybe we could get a little bit more personality. Maybe we don't just ping pong, just like what was on the press release.
Don't read the cue cards. Like give it some, give it something, give it some depth.
And this is constructive. So just before anyone's like, well, wait, Ronnie didn't like Drew Barrymore. The Drew Barrymore show. Ronnie didn't like Jennifer Hudson's show. Sherri Shepherd.
Ronnie doesn't like anybody.
What does he like? And it's just not the case. It's that I love talk show, the art form of it, in such a high regard. I've been on live television with the IFB monitor on Fuse TV, with the teleprompter and everything, and it is the funnest experience. I love it so much that I'll never not continue to believe that I can earn a talk show. Am I at my best now? No, there's like a lot, there's outside elements. You do what you do, but I love it so much. I'm gonna always push for it. And so when it comes to talking about talk shows, I feel like I'm doing a disservice if I just water it down. Sherri tried hard.
All right, well, I'm gonna watch an episode each of those two shows, and we'll come back and revisit this, and I'll give you like a legit critique from my.
Okay, and the hard thing about talk shows these days is they got to talk about hot topics.